As chapter 2 begins, Nehemiah writes this. Verse 1, in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was brought before him, I took up the wine and gave it to the king. And believe it or not, our second principle is right here. And our principle is this. We must allow time for vision to gestate inside of us. Write that down. We must allow time for vision to gestate inside of us. Now, what's gestate mean? To grow. It's like a baby in a womb. It's something that needs to grow and mature before it is born. You say, where are you getting that from this verse, Pastor Bear? Well, I'll tell you. The month of Nisan, if you understood the logistics of the Jewish calendar, we're talking about March or April, about the time of the coming of spring. It's the beginning of the Jewish New Year, which is appropriate because something new is about to happen for Nehemiah and for Jerusalem. So we're in month March or April. Go back to the very first verse of chapter 1, where very first word, the words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. Now it happened in the month of Kislev. Now before you nod off, Kislev is October, November. All right, so do the math. Nehemiah approaches the king with his vision. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 months after he first hears about what's going on in Jerusalem. Why is that important to know? Why is that a big deal? Because Nehemiah, get this, he didn't just hear about what was going on and charge into the presence of the king and say, King, I got to go back to Jerusalem. How do you think that would have ended for him? Probably not well. He had to allow time for vision to gestate, to grow inside of him, to figure it out. Nehemiah's vision, and it's as far as he could tell, is that he wanted to go back to Jerusalem and make a difference, help the people get back on their feet. He had one huge obstacle to accomplish that vision. What was it? The king! How many of you read Alice in Wonderland? Kings and queens are testy little creatures, aren't they? You look at them wrong, and what are they going to say? Off with your head. Turn to your neighbor right now and say, off with your head. He can't just march in there and tell the king, King, I gotta go. There's certain protocol that you have to follow back in these days. You don't just come in. He's the cupbearer to the king. He's not his bowling buddy. And so there's a great risk in what he's doing here. I mean, look at verses 1 and 2. You can see that in what he says. I went before the king. I took up wine and I gave it to the king. Now I had not been sad in his presence. And the king said to me, why is your face sad, seeing that you are not sick? This is nothing but sadness of heart. Then I was very much afraid. Oh my goodness. If the king had a little gas that morning, or if someone had burned his toast, depending on this moment, the king could have said to him, why is your face looking so sad? I can help you with that. Let's cut off your head. He didn't know how things was going to shake out. True vision requires that enough time passes that gestation can occur.